Hey nerd family, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look here at the new Max that's put out by Warner Brothers Discovery, which replaced HBO Max. Now I gave it a little bit of time for the dust to settle here. Today we're just going to take a look at it here and see if we notice any differences, kind of go over it and just take a look and see what our thoughts are. We're not really going to do a full comparison of what HBO Max was to what the new Max is. I'm sure there's probably other videos out there that do that. If you guys would like to see me do that type of video, then let me know down below. If I do get a bunch of people that are interested in that, I will go ahead and put that together for you. But today we're just going to take a little look at it and kind of see how it functions and what it looks like here today. Before we jump into that, I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro, and I'll see you back here in a second. Alright guys, welcome back. I hope everyone out there is staying safe and staying healthy. I do want to thank all of our subscribers. If you're a new subscriber from the last video, you will see your name scrolling across the bottom. For all of our subscribers, you will see your name scrolling across the side. Again, I want to thank our subscribers as you're helping us get to where we want to be. Our next milestone is 500 subscribers and we're on our way there, so thanks again. If you guys do like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It definitely helps us out as it lets YouTube know who likes the videos and who to recommend them to next. And if you are not yet subscribed and you like this video, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe for more. But alright guys, so for those of you that don't know, HBO Max has now changed over to Max. Now they have included some of the Discovery Plus content in here, and of course your HBO Max content, but they are now going by the name Max. Now if you guys have watched the previous videos, I really wasn't too keen on them going with the name Max. I felt it's kind of just odd, but again, as I said previously, who cares what the name is as long as the content is still good and as long as the service works well. So here we are today looking at Max. Now what I will say is I do kind of like how they kept the O from HBO and turned it into the A for Max. That's kind of cool. So whoever designed that, I think they did a pretty decent job with that. So here we are with Max. Let's go ahead and jump over to Max on the web here and take a look and see what it looks like. Alright guys, so here we have Max on the web. So up at the top, you're going to notice that it's got Home, Series, Movies, HBO, New, and Notable. You'll also notice it does have a search box and this little thing that we will kind of go over here in just a little bit. And then you have your profiles that you can go through and, go to your settings, subscriptions, everything else like that. And you can change your different profile stuff. So then you're going to have, some of the things that they want you to watch, of course, is going to be scrolling across the top here. And you can see that it does have a few different things that it scrolls through. And then as we go down, you're going to have your continue watching section, your For You section. Now they have mentioned that they are going to be doing some more like Netflix type algorithms that are hopefully going to be geared towards things that you watch. And then they're going to, tell you things that you should be watching based on what you watch. So we'll see how good it works over time here, but that's going to be the For You section. Then you do have your list, so of course things that you add to your list will show up here. Then you have featured, just added, you have your brand spotlight. Now I'm going to pause here for just a quick moment. I do think that the brand spotlight should be somewhere up towards the top. You guys let me know what your thoughts are down below. I think personally it would be easier to kind of get to these brands if they were just up at the top. Whether it's somewhere in here in like a drop down type style, like it could say brands, and when you click it, it drops down and you can click the different brands, or if they just took these tiles and moved them up. But basically this is going to be what used to be the HBO Max hubs. That you used to access down the side panel, and then you'd have the hubs there. So is it cleaner looking? Maybe, I don't know, but I just think it'd be easier to access them up at the top. Maybe that's just me, but there you have it. You keep scrolling, you're gonna have Meet Your Next Obsession. Now as we scroll down, there's just an endless list almost of different genres and stuff, if you will. You have popular movies, popular TV, find your next classic on TCM, because you watched Push is this, so yours might say something different. A fistful of action. You're going to have some collections here. HBO Spotlight, HGTV Happy Place, Must See Max Originals. You got an ad here. Become an ID Armchair Detective. All the LOLs. Enter the DC Multiverse. New episodes this week. Have a paranormal episode. Watch with the family. Watch with the family. Drama. Discover our collections. So here's going to be some of those different collections that they have. I do like the collections. Again, I think it might be a little cleaner if they had a drop down. Now I like being able to see the pictures, so I'm a little kind of back and forth on it here, but if it was some kind of drop down that had the collections, it might make this whole thing a bit cleaner, because it's just a long list of stuff, which is great to have all the stuff, but it's just a long list here. But you can see some of the collections. We'll check into some of them in a little bit here, but here you have some of the different collections. They do have you know, quite a bit of collections. So if you're just looking for something in particular, you want to come up and watch, you know, Batman or the Dark Knight trilogy or whatever it might be, you have those collections there. You got documentaries forever you, Uncover a Hidden Gem, Animation with an Edge, Yowza, it's Cartoon Network, Hungry for Food Network, Last Chance. I like that they do the Last Chance, so that way you can make sure if there's something you want to catch before it ends, that that you do have that. So I definitely do like that. Then you have your browse by genre. So if you do want to find something based on a certain genre, they do have a lot of different genres in here that you can go through. So there you have that. Now, if we kind of go back up here, what we're going to do, we're going to come back to the home screen here in a second. We're going to go back up to the top and we're going to look at series. So when you go under series, of course it's going to show you some stuff scrolling across the top here. But then you're going to have series for you. You're going to have some things here you can choose: featured, action, adult animation. So you got a bunch of different genres that go through across over here. So if you just want to break down the genres just for TV series, you got that. Then you got featured series, new episodes this week. I see you, Mark Rober, making some shows over here for Max. Anyways, you got popular TV, Because You Watched Ballers, Criminally Compelling. You got more collections here. Food and Home, Laugh It Up, all the drama. Then you're going to go back to the brand spotlights again. Action with Attitude, Fun for the Whole Family. Now, we're just going to kind of keep scrolling, but as you see here, there's just no shortage of different genres, or whatever you want to call these things, if you will, different ways to find the different series. You could just keep scrolling, and then you're going to end at the genres. Now, same basic concept. We're going to go over to movies here, and you're going to have the same thing. So your different you know, movies for you, the different genres, and then as you scroll down, you got the different things here. So if you want to find things that were just added, popular, so forth and so on, you got all the different things for all the different movies. It's honestly not that different than what HBO Max looked like. So they didn't change too much. You know, they changed it to where it doesn't have the sidebar menu on the left side anymore. It's got everything up at the top here. And they may have, you know, made a few other changes here. Now, the other thing you have up at the top is going to be HBO. So that's just going to basically bring you to the HBO hub, or the brand that you could see on that main page. It's just another way to get to it, and I think it's just weird that they have HBO up there but none of the other brands. I get that HBO is one of their bigger brands, but you stripped HBO away from HBO Max to be able to make just Max, but then you still put HBO up there, but you don't put any of your other brands. You know, can one say HBO is a bigger brand than, say, Cartoon Network or HGTV? Or I know that there's numbers out there to kind of measure how popular all of them are, and yeah, HBO is probably one of the bigger ones, but it's just odd that it's just HBO. Maybe if this HBO was the brands that you could, you know, click it or highlight it and it would drop down and you could choose them. I don't know, just a suggestion. You guys let me know what you think. But when you click into the HBO, now you're going to get everything that's just HBO. Of course, you can still filter through things here, and you got HBO for you, featured on HBO, so forth and so on. So you're going to look through and just see all the HBO content here. And this is pretty much what I thought they were going to do when they were stripping the name away. Of course, they're not going to, you know, really do away with HBO, but they're just going to make it, you know, less prevalent of the whole thing as HBO, so that way you don't lose out on all these other brands by just calling it HBO Max. So I get their point of stripping away the HBO name, but of course they're still going to put HBO, you know, front and center. It's still a big part of what everything is here. So you have that. Now, I do like the new and notable here. So it's going to show you lots of new things that are new to the service or whatever. So you got your featured stuff here. Of course, you can scroll across there and see more. You got new episodes this week, things that were just added, things that are coming soon, popular TV, popular movies, Max originals, so forth and so on. But I like the new and notable section, so that way when they have so much stuff up here, you don't lose out what's new and what's popular and things like that. So it's nice to have that section there. Now, you do have your search function. It works just like most search functions. You can just type stuff in and search for it there. And then, of course, it's going to give you your For You, your brand spotlight, your browse genres, and some other things in here. But you do have that search function. Now, depending on what you're looking for, you can also do A to Z, which is something that I did like in the past when I was reviewing HBO Max previously. So what you can do is you can go, some of these do have A to Z. I don't think HBO does, but if you go to Max Originals, you can see that they have A to Z, and you can click and filter things A to Z. But not all of them have it. So we'll go to HBO, which I don't think it does. If we scroll down, you don't see anything that says A to Z here. So you can't filter that one. We'll click another one just to kind of see here. So if we go to TLC, you can do A to Z, HGTV, A to Z. But see how it would be a little faster instead of me having to go back, like go to the home screen and come back and go to DC. If I could just do a little drop down or something up here, I personally think it'd be a little easier. Now, the other thing on here is this little funky looking tab thing. And what it really does is it brings you to your My Stuff section. So you have your My List, things that you add to your list, and you have your Continue Watching, and you have some recommendations in here. So that's how you get to your section, your My Stuff section. I think it's a bit odd. It's kind of weird how it's kind of hidden over there, and it might be different on other devices, but on the web it seems a bit odd. I'm just not sure why they just wouldn't have put it up in here and just have like My Stuff, so that way you know what it is, because this doesn't really indicate it. Like, it's kind of odd. I don't know, a personal preference maybe, but that's how you get to your stuff, in case anyone is wondering. So they didn't change too much, to be honest with you. They just made it maybe a little bit cleaner of an experience, and some may argue that, but this is what we currently have. Now, a few other things that I kind of wanted to go over here, just to kind of compare everything here in the streaming world. Just to do a quick comparison over here to Paramount Plus, this is Paramount Plus, the bundle with Showtime. So to me, it's very similar to what Max is now offering, because it's, you know, Max with HBO and a bunch of other brands that they own. So Paramount Plus has a bunch of brands they own, and they have Showtime. Showtime being very similar to HBO. So I'm just saying here that this is a good comparison in my eyes. So when you're on the web for Paramount Plus, you have shows, movies, live TV, sports news, Showtime, My List, and search. So again, if Max does My List up here, I think it might be a little cleaner. So anyways, it works very similar. We're not going to go into everything on here, but you could go into shows and movies and see how that works. But just from the main page, if you scroll down to kind of compare how it functions over to Max, you have your Keep Watching, My List, Drama, Originals. So as you kind of scroll down, you see it looks pretty similar to what Max is offering. Now, one thing I did want to point out, where Paramount Plus may have a little bit of a leg up, and you guys can let me know in the comments down below what you think, but I personally think they have a little bit of a leg up because they do offer the live TV. Now, I have heard that Max might be offering something in the future with live TV, but there's nothing on there just yet. So if you guys think that the live TV is a selling point here, you can head over to the live TV. To a 10-year limited warranty. And there you have
more than
live
1
TV.
million families in America own and love their Sunset.
And that's how
now
it functions.
you too can discover why life is.
So there you have a quick comparison over to Paramount Plus, in case anyone who didn't have Paramount Plus, or if you don't have either of them and you kind of wanted to see the comparisons, that's the comparison there between Max and Paramount Plus. Now, if you guys would like to see a little bit more deeper dive comparison into Paramount Plus versus Max, let me know in the comments down below. The more people that are interested in that, I can definitely put that together for you. Now, hopping back over to Max here, I did want to just kind of touch base on, you have all these different brand spotlights, right? So you can kind of take a look and see which ones we have here just at a quick glance. But one of them that I wanted to touch base on, there's not a whole lot of information just yet, but you have Wizarding World. So I kind of think it's somewhat of a placeholder here. It does have all the Harry Potter stuff in there, but if you go into DC, it's DC. HGTV is HGTV, so forth and so on. Let's take a look at Wizarding World. When you go into Wizarding World, you of course have your Harry Potter movies, every Fantastic Beast here, okay? And then if you look, you have Discover Real Fantastic Beasts with stuff from BBC and, you know, some of their other companies here. You have some stuff that are Max Originals, HBO Originals, which is technically a Cinemax original here. But you have things that are not the Wizarding World. They're just pushing more of their content. Here's just some DC content, Heroic Teens. So they're using this to kind of take the Harry Potter fans and push more people to more of their content. But I assume that over time they're going to be doubling down, tripling down, whatever you have it, with more Harry Potter content to fill this, because why would they make a hub for it if really it's just a hub for the movies and then adding other stuff for people to see? I mean, it's just a little odd. So I just kind of wanted to point that out, that I think that they're going to be adding more and more to this over time, but that's what that brand goes to currently. Now, while we're looking at the different brands, I also wanted to point out a couple things here. So the downside here is that they did work in Discovery Plus, but they didn't work in all the content from Discovery Plus. Discovery Plus is still a standalone application at the moment, and to get all the Discovery Plus content, you still have to subscribe to Discovery Plus. Now, this video isn't going to go fully in depth as to what's on Discovery Plus versus what's on Max and the difference between the two of them. That will be a future video. If it's something you guys want to see, let me know down below and we can definitely do that. But there is some differences. There's some shortage from Discovery Plus over here on Max. You're not going to get everything. I do think that you're going to get a good majority of stuff, so is it worthwhile to continue to pay for Discovery Plus? I think depends on what you're missing and if you need those things that are missing. But you do get a lot of Discovery Plus content over here, and they're going to, of course, continue to grow that library. But it's not everything. And we can kind of compare a little bit here. So I do still have Discovery Plus, but I do subscribe through Amazon Prime channels, so I can't fully log into Discovery Plus and kind of show you the difference look and feel wise of everything. But I can kind of show you that there are some things that are somewhat missing sort of here. So let's head over to Discovery Plus on Prime channels. Alright, so here we are over on the Discovery Plus Prime channels here. And we did notice that we saw HGTV, ID, TLC, Travel. It didn't say anything about Discovery Plus Originals, but while we have this here, I will touch base on that, is that I did do a little search on Max for a couple of the Discovery Plus Originals, and I did find them over there, but they don't label them as a Discovery Plus Original. So I am kind of thinking that over time, they are probably going to be stripping away Discovery Plus. I think that they're going to be adding more and more Discovery Plus content over to Max and hopefully doing away with Discovery Plus. So I think that they're probably not going to be labeling things as Discovery Plus Originals, because if they're going to do away with Discovery Plus, then the Discovery Plus Originals don't make sense. Kind of like there's all these Max Originals that used to be HBO Max Originals that now just say Max Original. Or there's Cinemax Originals that are now labeled as HBO Originals. So I kind of think that they are eventually doing away with Discovery Plus as an application, but right now they're just keeping it there for a little while till they get more and more content over here and eventually figure out what price works best for everybody to not lose the people that only want Discovery Plus. I think they're just kind of working on that on the back end. I give it maybe about a year. We'll kind of see how it goes, but that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that they're just not going to label this stuff as Discovery Plus Originals if they're going to, or do away with it here. But that's just my opinion. You guys let me know if you think something else, but they do have some Discovery Plus Originals, they're just not labeling them. As we look here, I don't think they had anything that displayed the Oprah Winfrey Network, but I did notice that there was some stuff coming soon over the next week or so here that's going to be from the Oprah Winfrey Network. So They might have some content, but just don't have the full like hub or brand over there yet. Maybe there's just not a lot of content just yet. But there was no like hub to access it. There was also no hub for Planet Earth, Animal Planet, Science, or A&E. So I'm not really sure exactly what's going on with those, but these things you can still access over on Discovery Plus, but not necessarily on Max. Now, I didn't do a full deep dive. There might be A&E, Science, Animal Planet, Planet Earth, and own stuff on there. There's no actual like hub or brand to actually click on just yet. So that's something for us to keep our eye on going forward. And if any of you do kind of do some research on the back end here and notice that there is content over on Max that's just not labeled as Animal Planet or so forth and so on, drop it in the comments down below so anyone else watching this can see here. But as of right now, they don't have those actual hubs over there, so I did just kind of want to point that out, and that there is going to be some Discovery Plus content missing. If you guys want more information on this in a future video, let me know down below. Now, I don't really want to go too full in-depth here into the pricing structure, but we'll take a quick look at it here. So right now with ads is $9.99 a month or $99.99 a year. You can do ad-free for $15.99 a month or $149.99 a year, or you can do the new plan, which is the ultimate ad-free, $19.99 a month or $199 a year. Now, I still currently, as of the filming of this video, still get the ad-free version from AT&T at no cost. I have AT&T for my home internet. They originally, when it was owned by AT&T, they included HBO Max with the ad-free version, and I still currently am getting it for free. Hopefully that continues. I hope I'm sort of like grandfathered in unless I change my plan or something like that. But I have been deciding, you know, am I going to want to try out the ultimate ad-free plan? I mean, at the moment, I don't want to go from paying $0 to $19.99 or the $199, but we'll see. So this is the difference here. So you get either the 2 streams with 1080p with ads, or currently I'm getting the 2 devices, 1080p, 30 downloads to watch on the go. It doesn't really bother me at the moment. But if I really want to stream on 4 devices, 4K with Dolby, and have 100 downloads, then I'm going to have to go with that ultimate ad-free plan. For right now, as long as it's being included for free, I do think I'm just going to keep it at the ad-free. I will update you guys if I change that in the future, or if AT&T decides to drop it from my offering, then I might just, if I'm going to pay $16, I might as well pay the $19 or the $199 a year and just get the ultimate ad-free at that point. But for right now, I don't see myself going from $0 to, you know, $19.99. But just to kind of give you guys, those are some of the differences there. All right, guys, so I just kind of wanted to, you know, quickly touch base here is that they did release a lot of new content the day that Max released back on May 23rd, and there's no shortage of content being added over the next week, weeks, months, whatever we want to discuss here. They have a long list of content. We're not going to cover all of it here, but you guys can check it out. One of the places I'm looking at this information is on Decider.com. You can go over to Decider.com and there's an article for new on Max and you can check it out for yourselves. But released back on May 23rd, there was a lot of different things here. A lot of them were Max originals. You got Bahama Rush, you got Clone High, you got German Genius, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai, Growing Floret, How to Create a Sex Scandal, Main Cabin Masters. Now some of these are Magnolia Network as well. You got Shazam Fury of the Gods, Smartless on the Road, Talking Sopranos, looks like it's a podcast, Villainous Season 1A from Cartoon Network, What Am I Eating with Zooey Deschanel, Windy City Rehab from HGTV. Then on the 24th, it looks like they released Expedition Unknown for Discovery. On the 25th, 100 Years of Warner Brothers, The Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of. You got Blippi Wonders Season 2C, Leela B City Farm Season 3, Teen Titans Go Season 8A, Total Dramarama, a very special that's quite special, Vlad and Nikki Season 2A, Vigly, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, VGLY, it's a Max original, don't know anything about it. Released on May 26, 100 Day Dream Home, HGTV, Being Mary Tyler Moore, HBO original, Kendra Sells Hollywood Season 1 and 2, Mark Rober's Revengineers on Discovery, Unicorn Warriors Eternal from Adult Swim. We got May 27th, Guy's Ranch Kitchen from Food Network, Impractical Jokers, collection of 100 episodes from season 1 to 8. We got Put a Ring on It from Oprah Winfrey Network. So again, there's something coming from OWN. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, Discovery, OWN, a few of the other ones that we just didn't have the actual brand like hubs for. They probably just don't have a whole lot of stuff yet. So until they build it up, then maybe they'll add the brand there. I'm not sure, but it's kind of what I'm thinking here. May 28th, we got American Monster for ID, Collateral Beauty, Married to Evil, Otter Dynasty from Animal Planet, Silo's Baking Competition, Magnolia Network, and the list keeps going on. There's more stuff being added on May 29th from TLC, Magnolia Network, HBO, ID, the 30th from TBS, Cartoon Network, CNN, the 31st from Discovery, and then we're moving into June here, and there is just a huge list of movies that they're adding. I mean, this list is just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling for just June 1st alone. And then we got June 2nd, June 4th, June 6th, 7th, 8th. I mean, they've got a long list of things that they're adding. So definitely now is the time to sign up if you haven't signed up, because they're adding a whole lot of stuff here. So I definitely think you're going to find stuff to watch going forward. Alright guys, so the last few things I just kind of want to touch base on here. A lot of this is stuff from Twitter here, but just some things that I came across that I just kind of wanted to point out here before we wrap up today's video. Alright, so this first one here, there's a lot of memes, a lot of things going on Twitter and stuff about this, so I just kind of wanted to just say it because I think it is kind of a little comical here. But over for HBO, and they made a few other things about this. They've made it their tagline here on their HBO thing, and they made some pictures and stuff for it too. But they say, Max is the one to watch for HBO. Well, you're the one that kind of stripped your name away from HBO Max, and now you're having to spend how much money basically saying, hey, don't forget, you can watch HBO on Max. I mean, come on. You stripped the name away. I don't know. It's kind of funny. And I get that they want to make sure people don't forget about HBO, but you're the one that took the name away. Anyways, I found it funny. You guys can go check it out. There's a whole bunch of tweets and stuff, and it's just kind of comical here. The next tweet that I wanted to point out here is they did do a slight color change. So the HBO Max used to be a little bit more purple hue to it, and they've changed the Max to a little bit more of a blue hue. It's still kind of on the purple side, but it's a little bit more blue. And people are pointing out that, they kind of went with the same color scheme as most other streaming services. So I'm not really sure who's out there, crunching the numbers and figuring things out and whatnot, but they did gear towards most of the other streaming services being blue. Not really sure why all the streaming services are going blue. I never really noticed it or thought about it before. I did kind of like the purple on HBO Max before, but I figured they probably changed the color to try to differentiate and push away from the HBO Max, so that way people think Max as a whole different new thing here. But yeah, they kind of went blue like everybody else. So yeah, people are talking about that. It's kind of funny. Feel free to go check it out, but I didn't notice it. But yeah, everyone's going blue. Now blue is my favorite color, but still kind of odd. Alright, and I just had to point this out because this has to be the tweet of the year or whatever here. But anyways, going back to the whole stripping the HBO away from the HBO Max name here, Peacock did tweet out that, I know you're all very disappointed, but I will not be dropping the first half of my name anytime soon. Get it? So let's take a look and see what someone else said here. Introducing Cock, the one to watch for P. Alright guys, and with that, I leave you with some final thoughts here. So, I never really thought that they had to really strip away the HBO name from HBO Max. I thought it's great. I thought it was a great service. Some of you had some issues with it. Maybe those issues will be resolved. I think time will tell here if any of those issues that some people had. I never experienced them, but like the lagginess and things like that, buffering, whatever. So hopefully we won't experience those things. Hopefully it'll be a much smoother operation here, but time will tell on that. But I don't think they had to strip the name away, but it is what it is. It happened, and now let's just kind of keep moving forward and hope that they move all the Discovery Plus content over to Max here and eventually just do away with Discovery Plus so we're not paying for two things. You guys let me know what you think, but I honestly, whatever I'm paying for Discovery Plus at the moment, I don't know, it is $7 a month, something like that. I'd have to look it up again, but whatever I'm paying for it, you know, if you want to up my price of Max for $3 more and just include all the Discovery Plus content, I'd be okay with that, because then I'm saving money on the Discovery Plus, but getting everything under one roof. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do going forward, but I hope they do something similar to that end of it, so that way, you know, you don't have to have both services and you know, do the hokey pokey thing over here. But I know not everyone wants to pay more for the Discovery Plus content, which is why they're keeping just Discovery Plus by itself for people that do want it, and throwing some stuff into Max for people that are okay, you know, paying the price for Max. But hopefully they just work it all together, similar to how Paramount Plus does it with Showtime, and just do away with Discovery Plus altogether. And kind of continuing that trend, I'm sure there's going to be a video in the next several months here, because it's coming to that time point where Hulu is going to basically go into Disney Plus. I believe Disney Plus is going to be what they continue with and work the content into it from Hulu. I don't know for sure. Time will tell as that kind of unfolds in the streaming wars here, but I think that we're now getting to that point that all these services are just going to start merging together, and we're going to be left with, you know, 2 or 3 services. Netflix might be on the downhill here. I think they're kind of rolling downhill. Unfortunately, the you know, the whole thing of the password sharing has kind of put a bad taste in people's mouth, and it's hurting them, and they're trying to kind of survive it, and I think that they will, but I think that they're on this path right now that they're losing subscribers and trying to figure out, you know, how to not lose subscribers and kind of keep going, and they're throwing spaghetti at the wall, and we'll see what sticks. But for now, I think Max is a great service. They have a lot of great content. I hope we don't keep losing so much content, but with all the services, we do give and take. So hopefully we don't lose too much more as they add more. Hopefully they put in more and more of the Discovery Plus content as time goes on. And we also have Paramount Plus that I think is a great service. Again, not perfect, but they are, you know, putting a lot of stuff up there. And if you have the bundle with Showtime, then it makes it easier to not have to have multiple platforms there as well. And then, of course, we have our Prime, Amazon Prime Video channels here, and you can attach a lot of services to it, which is great. But you know, Prime Video, $8 a month, not horrible. There is a lot of great content on there, but it's not quite in the same realm as these others at the moment. And same thing with Apple TV Plus. Now, there's a lot of other services out there, some that are free, some other things that we can discuss and stuff here in a future video. But here we have Max, and I think it's a great offering, and I think that it's a pretty decent price point for what they offer. I don't know how much more they can increase, but you guys let me know your comments down below. I think that it's a okay user interface, and they have a lot of great content on there, so I'm going to continue to have it. Of course, it's still paid for me at the moment. If I have to pay for it, will I continue it? I guess time will tell as everything unfolds here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it got a little bit long here, but hopefully I gave you a lot of great information. If there is anything that I missed, please let me know in the comments down below. If there's anything that I noticed that I forgot, I'll leave it in the description down below. If you guys did like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It definitely helps me out as it lets YouTube know who likes the videos and who to recommend them to next. And if you could, please share this video across any social media platform that you like. And if you've not yet subscribed and you'd like to do so, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so you get notified of any new videos to come out. You can also follow the links on the screen to the previous videos. And until next time, guys, stay nerdy.